when you think about the last 50 years or so that your country has been politically independent, what would you say that you are most proud of?
Well, you know, Ghana is a wonderful country, is a country that is truly blessed. And where I see that we have done well, where I see that we have something to be proud of, it's in our human resource. Because Ghanaians are celebrated everywhere.
All over the world.
All over the world. But we also struggle internally. And we are proud of the internal struggles that we come up with because they are relatively civil struggles. We have been fortunate enough to have come back to democracy, to using the ballot box since 1992. Mm-hmm. And that has helped us greatly. That has helped us to avoid some of the difficulties that other countries have gone through. And yes, when you look across the African continent, unfortunately, we have a continent that has been made poor by bad leadership, not by God, because God truly blessed Africa. Whatever it is that you want in terms of natural resource, we have got it. It is just that it's a continent looking for opportunity to be given by its own leaders and for them to harness the spirit of self-determination and to do well. So where there is democracy, where there's opportunity for people to climb up to leadership positions, you'll find that we are making some progress. I see that we need not just a new African, but we need a new breed of African leaders, those who would embrace democracy, governance, who will embrace the idea that you come in, you do your bit, and then you leave the stage for other people to come in and make their contributions. If we can do that, Africa will become a truly wonderful, prosperous continent.
You talked, of course, about your human resource. Uganda also boasts one of the best human resource, frankly, on the African continent, including Erika Kashambuzi himself.
Yes.
Who is on the set from New York.
Yes.
He's obviously a beneficiary of Uganda's independence because the last time I checked, I think he graduated sometime in the 60s from the then University of East Africa, and he's been working for the United Nations as a senior official.
Right.
What do you think is the secret, really, behind Ghana's apparent success that Uganda, for example, and other countries on the continent have not been able to experience?
Well, it is the opportunity that comes from democracy, from using the ballot box, from having term limits, because that has been a problem elsewhere. When that has been cured, people have risen and become more enthusiastic about their own country. So what is needed in Uganda, in many other countries, which we have, is the ability to use the ballot box, but also to have term limits.
You mentioned that one of the key secrets behind Ghana's success is what you characterize as the ballot box.
Yes.
Certainly not the bullet.
No.
But Uganda, too, can make a case that it actually participates with a ballot box.
Yes, it can, but it does not have term limits. You must have a limit to the term of a president. In Ghana, we had J.J. Rawlings, 8 years, he had to go. We had J.A. Kufuor, 8 years, he had to go. But now you have President Museveni. Museveni, he's been there for several years. He is still there because you don't have in Uganda term limits. There must be a time when a president must go so that someone else can take his or her place. Wherever in the African continent that there are term limits today, there is hope, there is opportunity, and the economy is moving, and the people, even if they don't agree, they are disagreeing in a very civil way, and they are hopeful that some things will get better.
But what about President Museveni, who will tell you that he in fact wanted to retire, but in his words, he succumbed to the pressures of the people?
Well, everybody says that. Many politicians do say it. And indeed, all over the world, not just on the African continent, many dictators say that, oh, it's not me. It's my people who want me to be there. But if you love your country that much, you must love it so much that you can leave it. If you leave it and other people come in, it's just like any business. They will ask you, where's the succession plan? Because eventually you will go. Eventually you will die. And you don't want to leave your country in a situation where it evolves into chaos. So it is the responsibility of heads of states like President Museveni to say, where is the succession plan? Who can come after me? And he must agree to a situation where the Constitution is indeed amended in a way that there is a limit to the term. That is an important element in the Ghanaian Constitution that has helped us in our country to move forward.
The Ugandan president, in fact, is on record saying that he really does not see any problems of staying longer in office, because in his words, staying longer in office has in fact helped him to become an expert in good governance. How do you respond to that?
Well, it may have helped him to become an expert in governance, but it is not helping Ugandans, the over 30 million Ugandans, to also become experts in democracy by participating and by also, I keep using the word aspiring. When you can aspire to the top job, there is hope. Then you know there's opportunity. Then you don't pick up arms. Then you don't get into violent confrontations. When that opportunity is there and there's an independent electoral commission or body that presides over things, when the Constitution or the law of the land says after so many years someone else can come, no matter how wise, how smart you are, then the other people look at me sitting here. I'm a presidential candidate. No matter what anybody says about what my chances are, I have hope. And so I participate. I make suggestions. I bring solutions. By my participating alone, I am giving hope to many other people in my country. That is what Uganda needs. That is what many other African countries need. If we can do that throughout the continent, then we can have a continent of hope. We can have a continent that can aspire towards prosperity and having a good standard of living, because God has truly blessed us with everything else that we need, including wonderful human beings, talented human beings, doing well elsewhere, but not doing as well in our own countries.